Okay, so here we are, guys, on the riding across of the four ways. Two fours don't let you know, they keep it all to themselves. They don't want to let you know their own personal little perspective about how anything happened in the past. They're not looking to share it with you. They go about the business in the two four, not caring at all. And then finally somebody calls them out. And then they will try its best then to control and influence you as to that specific memory. If you ever wonder where I get my generalized descriptions for some of these things, the way in which I talk about the two fours being a missionary, oh, it's ever the missionary here. They can remember what they weren't even alive to remember. They're the ones that will hold on to Mary that Jesus was walking along the road to Damascus, and they remember that what Jesus never existed. So I don't know. And nothing is going to change that memory about what happened in the past. How many weirdos do we have on the planet? It's not a planet, it's a plane. Anyway, that one to tell us about the extraordinary things that happened before any of us could even write. I'm fascinated by that, this creation of memory. And one of the things that we begin to see about the abstract fossils is that when you don't have memory about things, we invent them. We invent them. Please hear that we invent them. In other words, we make stuff up. That's us. We make stuff up. We really do all the time. It's so human. We make stuff up. We embellish. We add. How easy it is to make something up, to try to fill in the gap, to try to get something across. We make it up. We make it up supporting stories for our memory. We make up false memories and support for our other false memories. If you're looking for the depth of memory manipulation, you're here. Now, of course, it's described with the tone, and you think how deceitful and terrible and awful. Let's have them a shot at done. This is the movie. It's the way it works. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here in the program. We have many mythological characters in our history, whether they're religious figures, whether they're explorers, conquerors, this and that. We know nothing about this being. We know nothing about them, and we create these whole memories of them. We try to actually them by creating false memories. We're good at lying. As a teacher, I learned years ago when I worked with kids how creative children are making excuses. It's wonderful to be able to create excuses. The one thing that you have to be concerned about with the two four is that they're going to take their subjective memory and try to make it into the law. This is the way it was. This is the only way that it was, which means that's the way it's going to be. That's the trip. This is the way it was. This is so fascinating for me that people praise creators like Herodotus. He was an ancient historian. One guy probably had syphilis, lies, slightly deranged, lived in the hovel-like corner of some edifice. He wrote the history of the ancient world. We have people that believe all this stuff. You have had students or history who have studied this guy forever. And yes, I'm sure that he heard stories. Mediterranean cultures, sailors came in and they tell you a story. He had all these stories and we accepted as history. One guy, some weirdo somewhere, and the whole planet is going, Herodotus said. Okay, thanks for the history lesson. The 2-5. The thing about the 2-5 is that the 2-5 is not somebody that so much that will their subjective memory, whether it's realistic or not, and foisted it on somebody else. They really don't do that. But they are very, very good at it, smashing holes in your memory. This is one of those gates where the 2-5 Buddha is here. Really only one of these bubble piercers. Blow up your bubble with remembering something different. The 2-5s can be really dangerous. They are sitting here telling you some story, and you're going along with it, and you're enthralling everybody, and suddenly the 2-5 says, wait a minute, you didn't do that. On Wednesday you were with me. Oh, you want to kill these people instantly. So don't call them out after you had your canoeing trip with them. Don't invite them to the bar to discuss it with others, because you won't be able to say anything all night. The moment you start to talk about, they'll keep corrected for you. No, 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 we didn't do that first. We actually put the terms up. It gets to the point where you will never go with them anywhere again. They send 2-5s back to their house and close the shutters. It's not worth it. Human beings just don't know what's happening to them. They're so stupid they don't even remember. It's one of the great ironies in me that you can have a traffic accident, a very simple fender bender in front of 10 people, and every single one of them is going to give you a different version. The same bloody event right in front of them. No, 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 first he went, no, 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 I saw, no, 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 I saw that. The 2-5 says, I don't want to be part of that. You have a 2-5 standing on the street corner and a car accident happened and they immediately turn their back and walk away. They don't want to walk. They don't want to be caught. They don't want to be the one that has to be the witness. They don't want to deal with that. The policeman asks what happened and they answer and the policeman says, are you sure? Right away there's trouble. I was here. I saw it. You didn't see it. But just write down what I'm saying. And then the driver gets out of the car who's been accused by the 2-5s that they were responsible. And they accuse the 2-5s of not seeing what happened. And the 2-5s takes the gun out of the policeman's holster and shoots the driver. Don't invite them anywhere. Leave them at home. Don't let them see anything. They're probably blessed if they're born blind. No, I don't mean that. They actually get so cute. The not self is so open to cruelty. It really is. Delicious cruelty. These people are wonderful. You can have a real Satori experience with someone like this. They're like in the middle of the glory and they go sound like they're perfect. But then they learn very young, shh, because their first victims are their parents. And they learn right away that if you're going to correct your parents, you're in trouble. The protocol has a problem. The protocol grows up realizing it doesn't fit in. It's an archetype. It goes off into the world, it comes back as an authority, as an experiential authority, and when it comes back, it expects everybody to listen to its perspective because it knows what they don't. It has experienced what they have not. The crack from the 2-5 can be great, great shattering. But in most cases, you know it's going to happen in their childhood. They're going to end up challenging this perspective of the parents very early and we're put into place, and they'll withdraw behind it too. And the paranoia will be sound, and that will be. They're the kind of people that you spend an evening with them. And when you leave, when you're thinking about you don't want to know. You really don't. It would be seriously depressing. He's great, or yeah, sometimes great, sometimes not. Sometimes you're completely on. Thanks